That's right. Got a suit on for this one because this is a serious matter. No script, just jumping right into it. As you can probably tell from the assortment of Walking Dead merchandise I have on my table, Telltale's Skybound's Walking Dead, I'm at the very least a consumer, but I'm most definitely a fan. As everybody all knows, I'm not going to get into a big video essay about how arguably Walking Dead was Telltale's biggest franchise to propel them forward into relevance, essentially, and what led to the rise and then sadly the fall of Telltale. I'm not here to tell you about that. I'm just using that as an opening to preface all of this. And I guess to further preface all this, what I'm going to talk about, this isn't me on an angry rant. It's not. This isn't me like trying to bash a company or say, how dare you, no, nothing like that. It's just such an interesting saga and series of events going on that I figured, why not? And I would just kind of just tackle it real quick and then make updated videos as time goes on. So, long story short, as you probably saw by the title of this video, this is what I'm calling the Skybound Saga, meaning this involves the Guardian Pack of Telltale's Walking Dead Skybound Definitive Edition, this big old collector's edition that Skybound had up for pre-order last year. I'll give you the short and sweet of it, and if you're not interested in any of this, I'm going to say turn off the video now, because this isn't going to be your cup of tea, but nobody's really talking about this aside from like posts on social media and tagging Skybound on Instagram saying, "Oh, mine came in so cool." Like one guy, and I'll pop his video probably up like right here. I don't know, right there. But one guy I saw, this other kid on YouTube. He mentioned it, but nobody else seems to have a big problem aside from a few people on Reddit. So, starting from the beginning. After Telltale finished the final season here, it was announced that they'd be doing the definitive series, a complete remaster of everything from season 1, all the DLC, all to season 4, the final season, everything together, remastered. It has this cool new like comic book look to it, like visually, the controls and any bugs that were present in the game were rectified and fixed and put out in production. And it was amazing. I have no qualms with that. It was a fantastic example of remastering a game everybody loved and getting one full package. Now, to help bring in some profit for the company, understandably so, and as a final thank you, all the thank yous we've already been given for being fans and supporting, it's been marvelous. They've been the people that care at Telltale and the people that care at Skybound that stepped in to assist in finishing up this whole endeavor are amazing people. They care, they know we care, and so as a final thank you, they had the game coming out, and then in about April of last year, that being 2019, they basically announced there was going to be a series of collector's editions for the game. I'll maybe throw up some images over my voice right now, but essentially they were like the Guardian pack, there was a collector's pack and all this, and they had a based on how much money you wanted to spend and what pack you wanted to get, they ranged from some simple collectibles and physical media to statues, posters, and even like a cast sign poster. Now, by the time that I had the ad pop up on my Facebook page, and got around to seeing all of this, the top tier had sold out. But the one below it, the Guardian pack that had a limited edition statue, this awesome looking statue of Clementine and Lee, was still there. It was like 230. I ended up getting the Guardian pack, which was just about 250 with free shipping, all that fun stuff. It was a lot of money. So they make credit cards, and I was like, you know what? I would love that statue. This is a game I can 100% justify buying the Guardian pack for the collector's edition because I love it. I would want this as a final piece of memorabilia among all the other stuff that I have. Now, of course, it also said it would come with like Kenny's hat here, a copy of the game, some of the cool collectibles that you can see up there, and I already did an unboxing video for it. In fact, the unboxing video I'm probably going to make a part of the Skybound saga, so you're probably going to see that up next, actually, the way that I've tried to do all this. So I'll show you the unboxing video now. Hello, travelers. welcome back to another unboxing video. I don't have a lot of these, but whenever I do, we try to make sure it's pretty big. So let's try to now for some reason now it's heavier. So I don't know, is there anything on there? Oh yeah, there is. Now I really do like this art though, because it's the evolution. If you don't know, Clementine is like arguably the main character of the entire franchise, aside from of course Lee. But that's her evolution from season 1, 2, 3, all the way to the final season. So from a little girl to a slowly blossoming woman. So this is the Telltale Definitive Series Walking Dead Guardian Pack. So inside, now there's a lot of stuff. So the first thing is, due to the shipping delays and all the inconvenience, they threw in a bunch of extra stuff for us. So I think I'll figure out what it is as I go, but I'm just going to kind of start from the top and work my way back down. So first of all, a very sweet thank you card. This is the same card at the end of the series shown here, if you want to zoom in on that. On the back, there's all these signatures, and I believe it's from the cast. I'll show it in a second. It says, to those that cried when Clementine was lost and wept when she was found, to those there since the very start and those that just joined us, thank you for taking the journey. Without you, without everyone it took to get us here, we'd have never ended up safe and sound. I just realized I didn't put a microphone on top of this, so the audio is going to sound pretty shite, but it is what it is. So yeah, all the signatures on the back from everybody. But yeah, so there's a thank you card. Going into it, I can tell there's they included a bunch of complimentary pins as a sorry. So I've got like a Walking Dead pin. There is a Lee pin. There is a Clementine pin. And of course, for the best girl, the best dog, we have Rosie right here. Again, if you haven't played the game, you probably don't know who the hell any of these people are, but otherwise they're all very endearing. So, bunch of pins so far. I'm okay with that. I think this was only supposed to come with like 1 or 2, and then they added in, I think, Rosie is a thank you, and Clementine and The Walking Dead. From here, I'll swap it out now because we have, it strikes a heavy toll in my heart, but we have Kenny's hat from the game, so, of course, it's a little bit tight. There we go. Kenny's hat. Can't go without it. What else do we have? We have, of course, a plushie of Disco Broccoli. That's great. We have Disco Broccoli himself making his grand cameo appearance. So glad I have one. That's awesome. Aside from that, we have a shirt. I think I ordered a medium. No, I got a medium. I didn't get a small. But it's a shirt for the school in the final game. So it's Erickson's School for Troubled Youth. It's actually like a thick shirt, thicker than I thought it would be. But it smells new. Nice design. I like that. You got the numbers in the sleeves. So my only regret is not ordering a smaller size, but it's all good. It'll still be a nice shirt. Then we have something else here. I forget what this is. It's a... Oh yeah, I remember this. Yeah, it's kind of coming out here. But it's like one of those little Russian guys. This is so creative. It's like, it's made out of wood, and it's one of those little like unfolding Russian dolls, and each one, as you open it up, it's Clementine every season getting younger. Well, if they will open up, just breaks. Getting younger and younger as each one goes on. So that's super neat. And second to last for the big boys, we have a really neato mosquito poster here. If I don't rip it out while taking it out. To buy a nickel. Easy does it. I said easy does it. I just want the poster. That's all I want. Alright, here we go. And it's just a cool print from the final season again, but it's like comic book kind of stick. This is the style of Robert Kirkman's comics, so I don't know. You could hold it up either way, I suppose. That way looks probably cooler, the reflection. But yeah, so and it's a thick poster too, well printed, so I can probably frame that somewhere if I like to. And now the piece de resistance, one of the new highlights of my entire collection, the things that keep me happy during the course of every day and the good and the bad times. We have this Well, I'm sure you've guessed it by now. What do collector's editions normally have, franchise?
Models? I don't know.
Assembly? What? Is it a simple snap-in, I guess? I've never had to assemble the statue upon arrival, but here we are. Well, I mean, look, okay, you know, like, made in China. Okay, well, so it's in a couple pieces, but I get the gist of it. That's not too bad. Okay, so we have the base. Oh, that's awesome. We have Lee. Okay, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. A little bit more detail would have been great. And we have Clementine, but still, it's pretty good. So, if I'm not mistaken, essentially... Oh, Jesus, it's magnetic? That is... okay, that's just an interesting choice. I'll figure it out later. But that's the long and the short of it, is that... So, the quality... It's there for the most part. But the statue itself is a tiny bit of a disappointment, especially considering the fact that they said they went back through and tried to adhere to the quality control, want to make sure it was good. But I like that. Got the pins, got the egg guy, Disco Broccoli, the shirt, Kenny's hat. Overall, I'd say, you know what? Glad I could support the whole project. Glad I got this really cool like statue and collectible set and everything, and yeah, that's another unboxing. And now we're coming back to this. So, as you can see, there was a bit of hesitation and a bit of disappointment when I was opening it up. That's because throughout the order process, Skybound was plagued with a myriad of issues that I don't want to say it's their fault necessarily, because they're doing what they can to make it right. It's just an unfortunate circumstance, and I want to make sure everybody... I want to make sure I'm not the only person who's bringing it up. So... This order was made, in like mid to late April of 2019. So months and months go by, and it gets toward the end of the year, and finally we get an update. Now, from what I was told, eventually everybody who ordered one of these packs was getting frequent email updates. I only ever directly received one, and then any subsequent updates, I checked my spam, my trash. They said it might have gone there, but it didn't. I just never ended up getting any major updates from there. I had to ask each time for an update, and I was very patient. Like, months went by. Like, the first update I got about 4 months after I ordered it, and it was like, we have unfortunate news. So it was understandable. It was saying we can ship out the digital copy, but due to some production errors, we can't ship out the physical contents yet. And that's okay, because they said the initial prototypes from the factory did not meet the standards that we intended for these collector's packs, and we truly felt they were not the quality that our fans in the series discovered. We're still finalizing the exact timing for the physical items, but we estimate shipments sometime after November due to these circumstances. So, by that phrasing, one would infer that the initial statues they saw were like, we don't like those, we know they won't like those, and people aren't going to be a fan of them. So they said, you know what? We want to make it right. Now, they did say if you want to cancel it, you can. But I was like, you know what? It's been 4 months. I'll wait longer. I don't care how long it takes. I'll wait. So they said, okay, you'll get your game by September 10th. Sure enough, we did. Perfect. Game came in. No problemo. Now, it got toward the end of the year. I never ended up receiving any updates. So I received that update one of the last days of August. And then September, October, the rest of the year goes by. And it's not until it's not until like late January, early February of this year, 2020, where I finally was like, this is ridiculous. I haven't heard a single word. I emailed in what's going on. And they finally got back to me. Well, no, I'm sorry, early January, they got back to me. And they were talking about, you should have received an email for all this, but in case you didn't, here you go. So they said, and then they sent me a copy of what everybody else had apparently already received, which says, last time we contacted you, we had separately shipped your physical copy of the game. We're hoping to get the collector's pack bonus items to you this month, January. Well, maybe not this month. This was probably from a previous update. Unfortunately, further delays were introduced in finalizing the items in order to meet our quality standards, as well as unforeseen logistical complications in the ongoing U.S.-China trade war. Again, understandable. Our country's a mess. You can't help the trade wars going on, the shipping oversights and delays. I get that. So they were basically, again, assuring us that, hey, if you want to cancel, you can. But again, this is not ideal. But if you wait with us and you're patient again, we're making sure the quality is there, and then you'll eventually get it. So I said, okay, cool, no worries whatsoever. So double-checked spam, saw that didn't get anything. And so this all continues. And then after January finished, I reached out early February, and I said, hey, I just reached out again. It was like, hey, so I checked spam, nothing's happening. I don't know when mine is shipping out by like another update, if I could, please. And sure enough, they reached out, although it takes a few days. And they said again, the European units were delayed due to inbound shipping error. All U.S. packs should be shipped out by this point and this time, and they had the whole ticket open up and everything. And after all the back and forth, funny enough, they then sent an email shortly after that said, oh, it turns out you're shipped. We'll send you a tracking number shortly. I never got a tracking number. But a couple days later, boom, big old box shows up on my doorstep. What could it be? Well, it was this. And it was just this, spur of the moment, out of nowhere. I was like, you know what? Cool. Awesome. It took almost a full year, but that's amazing. So I do the unboxing that you've already seen before all this, and everything's up to snuff except for the primary part of the whole thing. And I've got some images I could throw up on screen in comparisons on all this based on what they were supposed to look like in conceptuals, and then what it actually looks like, which is, which it's not the worst statue in the world. I'm not trying to... I want to say I'm not complaining, but I'm definitely bitching, because this feels like the statue they said, oopsie doopsie, it's the wrong one. Just the detail is lacking. There's discoloration between his shirts and the sleeves, and the shirt at the collar, his face, the eyes, the lack of a beard, his shoes, his pants, the detail and cell shading has all but disappeared, and it seems like he's just wearing moccasins on his feet. The ground and the rocks and it's a mess of a statue for the amount of money, which they estimate this to be worth $150. And I bought statues half that price that have twice as much detail. So I was confused. I still hadn't been receiving any of these updates or whatnot, and so I reached back out to Skybound. Basically said, hey, so this is all there is to it. I never really received any emails or updates. This is a very far cry from initial renderings. I basically was like, look, if this is what we're getting, I would like a partial refund at this point, because after all that time, all the money that I gave and whatnot, that's not quite fair. Now, they got back to me, and I learned some new stuff apparently, and I learned even more stuff when I went on to Skybound's website and some Reddit pages. There were crucial updates I never received that would have answered these questions for me. Apparently, they reached out to me, which is funny. They say Movie Man, even though it's signed Austin. Thanks for reaching out, and we are very sorry about the quality of the diorama. We are aware of the issue and working to resolve it as soon as possible. So they say that. So all customers will get the new statue for free as well. It is still being developed, but we'll share all updates to the community. And then they gave me a $50 gift code for the website, which is, it's fine. That's nice. They didn't have to do that. But they were like, for patience and good faith, here you are. So I gotta say, the customer service angle, honestly, has been great from Skybound. They've responded to all my queries. They've tried to make up for it by giving free gifts for delays and for the problem. But I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't the only crazy person thinking about this statue. And it was weird because you assembled it and it wasn't quite fitting together right. And then it's also a magnet base, so it's low-key quite unstable, as you just heard it crack a second ago. Now, that said, because I also updated the ticket before they responded, I went onto Skybound's website. They mentioned this. They said there was apparently an email people received in December that I never got that showed these conceptual images of the statue, and the fan backlash was people were like, yeah, no, that's ridiculous. So I don't know if this is the first, this is the alpha build of the statue that they were then saying, oh, we made an oopsie, there was an oopsie doopsie with the production, and we're trying to make a better one, but they still sent this one out, or if they think this is an improvement on the alpha, which if this is the improvement, I would pay money to see what the alpha build was. But apparently, they had already addressed that, and thankfully people talked about it on Reddit and also Skybound's website. But now the question is how it's going to be resolved, because, again, the phrasing of this email makes it seem that they say, we are aware of the issue of the quality of the diorama and are working to resolve it as soon as possible. Now, when you say resolve, do you mean that you're going to be making a new diorama of this and sending it per the original agreement? Or does that mean you're working on a refund system? Because the next sentence says, all customers will still get the new statue being developed by the Better Statue Company. I put them up on the screen as well. They make good quality statues that are amazing. But the sentence says, all customers will get the new statue for free as well. It's still being developed, but we'll share all updates with the community. So, once again, one would infer that if that's how the sentence is phrased, in a perfect... I see two things happening. In an absolutely perfect world, they're redoing this statue, and we're going to get it, as initially promised. The initial quality, craftsmanship, for the price tag and all that, they're gonna make right the mistake and ship it to us. Plus, this new additional, I assume, we all assume smaller statue would be sent for free. That's my best, that's the best thing that could happen. What I think is going to happen instead, because that would cost a lot of money, even though they received a lot of money from us already. I feel like they're going to try to do something else to make up for this. I don't know if it's going to be a partial refund or some other free gift, and we'll get a second, better quality statue. But I fear this mistake will be rectified. Now again, I don't know. It's all speculation right now on Reddit, and that's the only answer I have from Skybound. But I'm a patient man. I've paid money. I've gotten some products, not up to what was promised, but they are saying they're going to make it right with the community and fix the mistake. And that's all well and good. I'm 100% down to see which direction to go with it. So that's all there is to it. It's not really, this isn't me trying to rant. It's just me making a video series out of this now because I'm capitalizing on the mistakes of others. And as a fan, I just really hope this ends up with a positive resolution. But I will make video updates as I receive any. But this is just this is literally, all of this is from nearly a year's worth of communication to the fans, order delays, reshipments, back and forth. Put AJ back up in front here real quick. There we go. So again, this is all just speculation, but that's what I hope is going to happen. I told you what I hope is going to happen and what I think is going to happen. So that's honestly all there is to it so far. Again, I have no major qualms. I'm so glad they've gone this far with it. I just hope that I hope that by the end of all this, I'll feel as though Skybound made it right. Which I think they will, because if it weren't for them, we wouldn't have gotten an ending to this story that we all were huge fans of. Because I love Telltale's Walking Dead. I love the characters of Clementine and Lee. I met the actor for Clementine in person at a Walker Soccer Con, and she's the nicest, one of the most amazing people I've ever met. The passion and creativity that went into all this in the game, and just the fandom that's emerged, and the story that's just stuck with us for these years, the tears that we still have over these big moments in the story, and the decisions, the heartbreaking ones that we had to make. It would be a shame if this handsome face had this legacy behind it, but again, I'm not Angry Joe here. I'm not going to be screaming and shouting about the quality or anything like that and making a big tantrum and a fuss. I'm very grateful for what I've received so far and honestly, the great customer service that we've received in regard to the issue. So, I don't know. The next video you could see could be in a completely different story. But if you watched this long, thank you so much for watching. check out my channel if you haven't already. Feel free to subscribe for more content. I do video games, I do movie reviews, video game playthroughs, movie reviews, I read through books, I do random videos, an occasional vlog, not many because we have enough vlogs out there in the world, but this seemed like a unique series to do. Again, check out the channel. That one kid I mentioned earlier, he was the reason I kind of made this because I was unsure if anybody else had a similar issue, and this kid thankfully said something about it, and it made me feel like I wasn't crazy. So, shout out to you, man. Check out his channel as well. In the meantime, thank you guys and gals so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode, potentially the last episode of the Skybound Saga. I'm hoping it all ends well. Appreciate the support. Goodbye, travelers.